Hi, my name is Jonicel Leiva, and this is the installation and maintenance video for the Smart Buildings 5.0 Drama project. What I'm going to show you first is the tools that we use to develop the application. The first thing that you want to do is download Get if you haven't done so already. When you download Get for Windows, and all the tools that we're going to download is for Windows, that's where we develop the application. So when you download Get, you would get a bash. So open that first, and then go to the directory where you want to download the repository, all the code that we have for the application, and then do a get clone. So do get clone and use this link to get the source code from the GitHub Smart Buildings 5 repository. So do get clone and use the link provided to download all the source code first. Once you do that, then the next thing you want to do is download or get a text editor to edit the source. In our case, we use Netbeans, an IDE. So you can download the Netbeans from their website. Go directly to netbeans.org and download. You can download the basic Netbeans that comes with a PHP, the 64-bit version, and I'm gonna open it now. Once you download Netbeans, you would want to download a plugin for it. In our application, we use Cake PHP framework. So you would want to go to Tools, Plugins, and under the available plugins, look for Cake PHP. In my case, I already installed it, so I'm going to show you under the installed list. It would look something like this: PHP Cake PHP framework, and then click on install. After this, then you can import the project to Netbeans. So open project, file, open project, and go to the directory where you did the get clone of the repository, and it'll be under code web app, and open that project. So once you import that project, you will have all of the source code inside Netbeans. You can access the code by going to web app, source files, app, and then from here you can access the individual components that need to be used, such as the controller, the model, and the view, and the web root. These are the important folders. Okay, so after this, then what you want to do is install XAMPP. Go to XAMPP, ApacheFriends.org, and download XAMPP. Download XAMPP for Windows. When you download XAMPP, choose the options for Apache and PHP, which is the only thing that you need. Other things are not needed. The other options are not needed, so you can discard that. Once you download XAMPP, then what XAMPP brings is a control panel that is easy to use. So open that XAMPP control panel. So make sure you have the Apache and MySQL. Then you can start the service, right? Make sure everything is working. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is create the DramaDB, the database. So, and it's very easy to use with Apache. You can just go to admin, which will open the interface to modify the database, and then make sure you create a database that is called DramaDB. Once you do that, then the next thing you want to do is create all of the tables that we use and that we use in the application. And for that, all you have to do is go to the project folder and go to config. So web app source app config under schema, and open the SB5 SQL. And this will have a script that contains all of the tables that we use in the application. So all you have to do is copy paste the code from the script and run the SQL in here to create the tables, and all the tables will be automatically created for you. Okay, so after the database is set up, you run the script for the schema. Then the next thing you want to do is modify the config file for the Apache server, so that you import the directory, the root directory of the application onto the Apache server, so that it knows where it is. So in order to do that, you have to open the httpd vhost.conf. And if you don't download XAMPP, wherever you download XAMPP, you can go to XAMPP Apache conf extra httpd/vhost.conf. And inside this conf file, what we want to do is add this additionally at the end. So all the way to the end, go and add these tags to the conf. So virtual host, document root, and this is the directory where you downloaded the source code from Git. In my case, it's D drive Git smart buildings, and then code web app web root. The server name, you can give it whatever name you want. In our case, we gave the name web app. Again, here you do directory, the same directory, and allow from all, require all, granted. So these are just settings that Apache users to grant access to the source, to the file location, and so that it knows where it is in your environment. So after this, make sure after you modify this conf file, make sure that if you have started the Apache server, make sure you restart the Apache server, so that it gets all of those settings. It applies those settings that you have added. So after this, make sure you stop the Apache server and restart, so that it applies all of those settings that you added. Okay, so after the Apache server is modified and Apache knows where the directory of the source code is, the next thing you want to do is modify the local host in Windows. So the way you can do this is by going to the C drive, Windows, System32 drivers, etc. And inside this folder, you would open the hosts file. Inside the host file, at the end, add this this line. So the reason for this is so that we are creating a different name for the local host. So since the name of our application, the initial name is web app, we are adding to the host in Windows web app as a new name for localhost. And make sure this file is open as an administrator. So when you open this file, open it as an administrator, so that it lets you save this line that you're going to add. Okay, so after this, you should be set up to run the project and develop the application. So after you do all of these steps, you should be able to open a web browser and type web app home, and you should be able to see the project, see the application running. If not, then something went wrong, and make sure you revisit the steps that I just described. Okay, so these are the steps to download the tools that you need to develop the drama project. Um, our application uses Cake PHP, so the when you download the example, it already downloads uh, the PHP, the Apache server, and the MySQL database, which is everything that we use, everything that we need for the application. And then for the KPHP framework, it's already included in the project folder. So there's no additional uh, things that you need to download to be able to use it. When you download the Get source code, it already downloads everything that you need as long as you have PHP already in your system. So the next thing I want to show you is the installation for deployment. So uh, for this version of the project, we deploy the system using we're deploying our application using Amazon Web Services, and they use Linux. They have the Linux servers, so we had to deploy our application in a Linux box. So I'm gonna show you. It's a little bit different than the Windows, but it's actually easier to install, the steps to install. So you can access the Linux box using PuTTY. You can get the credentials from the product owner if you need to do this step. So make sure you get the credentials from the product owner in order to access the box. So if you use PuTTY, you would have to, everything pretty much here is using commands, but it's not that difficult. So this Linux box uses the Yum installer. So for example, in our case, we need to install Apache, the Apache server. Everything needs to be installed separately, because for the Windows, when you install XAMPP, everything is downloaded in a package, but for Linux, everything's installed separately. So the main things that you need to install is make sure you have PHP. So make sure you do yum install PHP. In this case, it's already installed, so I'm going to list the packages. So make sure you do yum install PHP. That's the first thing you need to do. Then you need to do yum install the Apache server. So in this version of Linux, the Apache server is called HTTPD. So that's the name of the service, of the package. Yum install HTTPD for the Apache. I'll show you yum list. In this demonstration, I'm not installing it because it's already installed on the server. So I'm just showing you the packages. So, but you would do yum install and then the package name. So the next thing you need to do is the MySQL. So list. So the next package is MySQL. And pretty much those are the three things that you need to install. Oh well, the next thing you need to do is the Git. So make sure you have the Git service here. So you list Git. I would say those are the four things that you need. So make sure you have the PHP, HTTPD server, which is the Apache server, MySQL, and the Git. And then the first step you need to do is go to a directory. This very similar to the Windows. Go to a directory where you want to download the source code and do a git clone on that directory. In our case, we downloaded the source code in home, EC2 user, EC2 user, WW, and smart buildings. Smart buildings. So if I do an ls here, you will see that here we downloaded all the folders from the repository. on the Smart Buildings repository, and the code is under code. The web app is there. So once you do this, then you need to modify the HTTPD conf from the Apache server so that it knows where the source code is. So in order to do this, you have to sudo and vi the conf file for the Apache server. In this case, it's in etc httpd conf and then httpd conf. So in here, you would want to make sure that you have these tags. So on the document root, make sure you add the location root of the project. So it's under home, ECT user, WW, Smart Buildings 5, code web app. And the same thing for these tags. For the directory tag, add the directory here to allow from all and require or granted. And additionally, you can also do it here to relax access, to allow access to the directory name, the directory location, and option, and allow this and uncomment these options. Override all. So once you do these configurations to the conf file, you need to restart the Apache server. So do sudo service httpd restart in order for the Apache server to apply those changes. Okay. So after you do this, then the next thing you want to do is the same steps that we did for Windows, is create the project. The database. So if you have MySQL installed already, then all you have to do is do sudo MySQL. So use the sudo in order to have full access to the services, to the commands. So sudo MySQL. And then here you can type any SQL command. So what you want to do is, the first thing is create the database. So make sure you do create database and the name of the database that we use is DramaDB. That's the first thing that you need to do. After the Drama database is created, then you go into that database, and then all you have to, and then you create the tables that we need. So in order for you to do that, you can just do the same thing that we did for Windows by copying the code from the script where the schema is and paste it here. And once you paste it here, it'll create all of the tables that you need and that the application uses. So again, once you download everything that you need, all of the tools, server, Git, and MySQL, and make sure you have PHP, then again you need to download the source code from Git, and then modify the HTTPD, which is the Apache server conf file, to include the server, the directory of the source code, and then create the DramaDB database in MySQL and the tables that we need for the application. So once you do all of this, then everything should be fine. You should be able to open the application from the directory. So and this is the box where the live application resides. So in order for you to do any changes that you make, you need to pull the changes to this box. So for example, the way the way we do it right now is we develop any features in the web in our local machine using the settings that we have. Then we do a get push to the repository using get so any changes that we make, we push it to the remote repository, and then we go to the live server and we go to the directory where the source code is and do a get pull. And then once we do a get pull, all the modifications that you made locally are live on the server, and we'll be able to be seen in the live application. So I think this is everything that you need to know for the installation and maintenance of the application. And I hope this was useful for everybody that's watching. And thank you for watching.